Let's dive into the question that every pet parent seems to come across at some point. Can you give a cat Benadryl? It sounds simple, but this topic is a bit like a tangled ball of yarn. Once you start unraveling it, there's more to it than meets the eye. Don't worry though. We'll break it down, and by the end of this, you'll have a much clearer picture of how Benadryl interacts with our feline friends. Let's start with the basics. Benadryl is the brand name for diphenhydramine, an over-the-counter antihistamine that humans often use for allergies, colds, and even for some sneaky sleep aid. You've probably popped a Benadryl or two yourself when allergy season hit, right? But just because something is safe for humans doesn't automatically make it safe for cats. Trust me, when it comes to cats, they're a whole different ballgame. Now, you might wonder, why would anyone even give a cat Benadryl? That's a valid question. Believe it or not, some vets actually recommend Benadryl for certain issues. Here's where it might come in handy. 1. Allergic reactions. Like humans, cats can have allergic reactions. Maybe they got into something funky like a bee sting or had a run-in with an irritant. Benadryl can sometimes help calm those reactions. 2. Motion sickness. Planning a long road trip with your fur baby? Some cats get motion sickness just like people, and Benadryl can help ease that queasiness. It's like giving them a little anti-nausea pillow for the journey. 3. Sedation. Some cats need a bit of calming down, whether it's due to anxiety from traveling or, let's face it, a trip to the dreaded vet. Benadryl can make them a little drowsy, which, in certain cases, might not be a bad thing. Who hasn't wanted their wild child kitty to chill out for just a hot minute? Here's the million-dollar question. Can you actually give a cat Benadryl safely? Well, the short answer is yes, and this is a big, but it has to be done very carefully. Cats are not small dogs or tiny humans, and their bodies process medications in a unique way. What works for us can sometimes be downright dangerous for them. There's also the dosage issue. It's not as simple as splitting a pill and calling it a day. For a lot of pet owners, the instinct to grab something from their own medicine cabinet and give it to their cat is natural. I get it, you're trying to help. But Benadryl can be tricky if you're not sure what you're doing. For example, too much of it could lead to side effects like drowsiness, dry mouth, or even, in worst-case scenarios, vomiting or difficulty breathing. That's why calling the vet should always be your first move before reaching for the pink liquid. Speaking of dosage, let's get into the nitty-gritty of that. The general rule of thumb is about 1 milligram per pound of body weight. So if you have a 10-pound cat, they could take up to 10 milligrams of Benadryl. But let me throw this out there. Just because you can doesn't mean you should without guidance from a vet. You might be tempted to just guess the dosage or wing it, but let's pump the brakes on that idea. Cats can be really sensitive to meds, and what seems like a small dose to you might actually be quite powerful for them. And if you're thinking about using the liquid form that's available for children, hold up. Some liquid versions contain alcohol or flavors like bubblegum, which are a big no-no for cats. Cats plus alcohol equals bad news. If your vet gives the go-ahead, they might recommend a pill, liquid, or even an injection, depending on the situation. They'll also advise you on how to best administer it because, let's be real, trying to get a cat to swallow a pill is like trying to put toothpaste back into the tube. It's not gonna be easy. Now, after giving your cat Benadryl, you'll want to keep an eye out for any weirdness. Cats can't exactly say, hey, this is making me feel off, so you've got to play detective. Here are some side effects to look out for. Drowsiness. A little bit of sleepiness is okay and actually expected. Your cat might get extra cuddly, which is fine unless it's paired with other more worrying symptoms. Dry mouth. They might seem extra thirsty or have a dry nose. No biggie unless it's severe. Excitability or restlessness. Some cats react in the complete opposite way and get all wired up. Think zoom eyes on steroids. Vomiting or diarrhea. If your cat starts throwing up or has a bout of the runs, something's not right. It could be a sign that the dose wasn't quite right. If any of these symptoms are intense or you notice things like labored breathing or seizures, it's time to hustle over to the vet. Don't wait. Cats are experts at hiding how bad they feel until things get serious, so trust your gut if something feels off. Let me tell you a story about a friend's cat, Whiskers. One summer, Whiskers had a severe allergic reaction. His little face swelled up like a balloon. Poor thing looked like he'd just gone 10 rounds with a beehive. My friend freaked out, understandably, and called the vet, who suggested a small dose of Benadryl to reduce the swelling while they prepped for an emergency appointment. After carefully administering the Benadryl, Whiskers wasn't having it at first. Within an hour, the swelling started to go down. He got a bit groggy and lounged around like a furry potato, but the allergic reaction was handled, and by the time he got to the vet, he was already on the mend. Benadryl can be a lifesaver in the right situation, but only when used properly. Before you think Benadryl is a miracle cure for everything, let's talk about when you should absolutely not give it to your cat. If your kitty has certain conditions, like heart disease, high blood pressure, or glaucoma, it could do more harm than good. Pregnant or nursing cats are also a big no, unless a vet gives the green light. Additionally, if your cat is already on other medications, Benadryl might interact with them in unexpected ways. Always check with your vet to make sure it won't cause any complications. So, can you give a cat Benadryl? Yes, but only with proper guidance from a vet. It can help with allergies, motion sickness, and even mild sedation, but it's not something to be handed out willy-nilly. Cats are delicate creatures, and what's helpful for us might be harmful to them in the wrong amounts. Your cat and your peace of mind. If you enjoy this video, we would really appreciate a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss a new video in the future. Thanks for watching.